What's up, everybody? My name is Neil Costin. I'm the founder and CEO of HireClicks. HireClicks is a recruitment marketing agency focused on helping our talent acquisition clients figure out the best way to connect with folks, get applicants, hires, and meet the business goals you need. It's crazy out there now. And one of the things that we're seeing is that creative is more important than ever. Today, we're going to talk through how important it is to have great creative, because to be really frank, most of the creative in recruiting sucks, and it doesn't have to. We've seen so much copy and paste creative that it's time for new, fresh perspectives on how to make creative in recruiting just way better than it is today. So one of the things that we're going to talk through are some of the steps you can take in order to make creative more effective in your recruitment marketing and employer branding strategy. So let's start with a couple of real simple things. Number one, you've got to work with corporate marketing. You can't go out creating some sort of rogue brand using weird fonts and different colors. That's not good for anyone. You're going to get in trouble. Corporate marketing is going to get pissed. The agency that helped you is probably going to get fired. So you've got to recognize that a lot of money and time went into building a corporate brand. And you've got to play nice with that. You've got to use all the assets that they have at their disposal. So color palettes, corporate brand standards, all that kind of good stuff. An agency that understands how to build a good, strong creative process will know that. And you've got to really recognize your corporate marketing peers and understand everything they've gone through to create and invest in a long-term, durable brand. So I would say first and foremost is spend a little time with those folks. Make sure you know what those corporate brand guidelines are, what those corporate brand standards are. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Kyle.
Yeah, thanks, Neil. I totally agree. Here on the HireClicks creative team, we're working with our different clients' brand guidelines every single day. And we like to think of ourselves as an extension of our clients' corporate marketing teams and creative teams. So having up-to-date brand guidelines is huge. We love to reference them when we're building out stuff so that we're not putting out stuff that looks off-brand or doesn't look like it's part of even the same company. So having good up-to-date brand guidelines is huge. We like to make sure we have good logo files on hand that we can use, and a good logo file is either like a high-res PNG, that way it has a transparent background, or a vector file. And what a vector file is a file that can be scaled up as large as you want it to, really, without losing any resolution, which is huge, especially on offline advertising where we're printing things. We really need to have things be as high resolution as possible. That way you're not losing, that way your logo doesn't look blurry or pixelated when it goes to print. And then really quickly, one other thing I just wanted to throw in here was we always love to get a folder of approved photos from our clients. And that's okay if you don't have those quite yet. There's a lot of really good stock photography out there and websites that we can grab stock photos and images from. But it's just a lot better if you have authentic corporate marketing approved unique photography. So I just thought that was important. So thanks. Back to you, Neil.
The next thing you really need to consider is, what kind of creative assets do I need? Probably thinking like, aren't you here to tell me that, Neil? Well, a lot of that depends on what kind of marketing is in your strategy to promote your employer brand. So first and foremost, if you're doing video, then you've got a really good chance of using that video on YouTube, on TikTok, on your career site. You've got an asset that you can reuse and recycle over and over again, and that's huge. So you got to figure out, what tools do you need to put in your garage in order to make you successful? And that doesn't happen overnight. You've got to really think through, what does the portfolio of assets look like when you're going to take your employer brand to market? So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Veronica on our team to talk a little bit more about what kind of creative assets can make an impact.
Hey Neil, Veronica here. Thanks for the question. I'm here at the site of the USS Constitution in beautiful Charleston, Mass. It's a gorgeous day out. I'm here to answer your question about creative assets you would need for your employer branding. So first off, I would say you'd want to have a nice backlog of photography, whether it be stock or photos you take yourself. Second, I would say just general graphics that represent your brand. It's also great to have personal illustrations that kind of help tell your story, and they're quite a unique option. Lastly, I would say video assets. The graphics can be used in that as well as the illustrations. There we go.
The next thing you want to think through is, hey, what do I do with my career site? What do I do with landing pages? What is my candidate experience like? So, as you know, there's tons of options out in the marketplace for job seekers to consider today. You've got to make it as easy as possible for them to get to know who you are, to get to know your brand, and to share their expression of interest with you. It's critical to your success. So for some additional insights on how to leverage landing pages, career sites, and mobile sites, I'm going to send it on over to Dan and our team.
Thanks, Neil. There's a lot of things to look at when making a career site or landing page. The utmost important thing is to make sure that your potential hire is navigating your site or page easily and intuitively as their experience goes through. At the top of the page, you want to have a clear and concise heading and subheading, clearly naming what the position is and any important details around it. Along with that should be attractive and eye-catching hero image or video. We found that recently using hero videos as background videos has worked really well and does a good job at differentiating your landing page from some competitors. Next thing down the page should be clear navigation. The user should know how the page is going to flow as they go down. There should be no guesswork needed. Everything should be clear and concise. If you want to add in some callouts, some arrows, or clickable buttons to drop down the page as you follow it, that's always a good idea. And you want to have that hero section blend down into an area of your page or site that's going to clearly and concisely represent what the job position is, what the benefits are, things like pay. A big important factor for a lot of people is the culture of the company. So this is a place where you would call out your office culture and your values, and you can use different things like imagery or icons to establish these for the candidate. As the page goes down to the call to action, you want to make sure the simpler the better. The less that a candidate has to fill out on a page or site, the greater the chance that they will complete that call to action and hit the submit button and send you their info.
Hopefully, some of those insights about the candidate experience and the process of engaging with them on websites and mobile phones and landing pages is really helpful for you. So another thing you really need to consider is the employee experience. What are we doing to make those folks that we put all that time and money and effort into to get them on board, to join our team? How are we actually making sure that they have a great onboarding experience, that they're in a position to refer friends, family, and others who might be a good fit to join the team? And then lastly, how are we making sure they're engaged? We're saying thank you occasionally, and that's really critical. So with that, I'm going to pass it on over to Jill so she can give you some additional insights.
Hey Neil, to continue off of what you said, I also agree that it's very important to have a great onboarding experience as a company, as it gives new employees a chance to get a better understanding as to what the company is about, as well as more insight as to what the work culture is, and the opportunity to meet current employees. I also think it's very important to have a very supportive work environment where you're not afraid to go up to any employee if you have a question or to ask for help. And I really think that's what helps make for a great employee experience.
So we've talked about a bunch of stuff, but one of the most important creative assets you can build are related to video content. And I'm talking about something that goes beyond the CEO interview. It's really hard to relate to that in a lot of cases. So what we want to do is create authentic snippets of content that are digestible for consumers wherever they spend time. Some of that's on YouTube, some of that's on Facebook or Instagram or social, and some of that's, inline advertising. There's video advertising units that we can actually help get activated in a targeted way to get to the candidates you're trying to reach. For a little bit more insight on video, how it works, how the magic behind the camera happens, I'm going to send it on over to Aaron.
The word video can bring a few things to mind. A 2-hour movie, a TikTok, something off YouTube, or maybe a 6-second ad. It's important to understand what you're thinking of when you want to deliver a certain outcome. According to eMarketer, In 2020, adults consumed over 133 minutes of digital video content every day. And in 2021, that number is supposed to go to 140. So it's clear that video has become the primary channel in which people get and share information. But just because you have video content doesn't mean you'll get results. Marketing teams are constantly challenged to come up with new and creative campaigns that generate ROI from video, and eventually inform future campaigns that deliver on value. So you know you could be doing more video, and you know you should start leveling up your digital marketing, but you're not sure where or how to start. This might be a good time for you to sit down with your creative and marketing teams and hash out potential video campaigns. And if you're like most companies out there who might not know where to turn, we can help you.
So let me just help pull this all together. What's happening in today's marketplace is a shortage in labor and a high number of jobs available is creating this incredible dynamic. This was already happening before COVID. It was starting to get tight. But since the economy has come out of some of the COVID darkness, we're seeing a marketplace that is absolutely crazy. And what you're going to need to do is really go beyond job roles. You're going to need to figure out ways to build your employer brand, to create assets that are memorable, and that provide the kind of air cover and branding that you need to get candidates thinking about your organization. So hopefully you found this really helpful. Today, if you do one thing, I need you to just think about creative, because the more you think about it, the more options come to mind. So I hope you learned a thing or two. My name is Neil Costa. I'm the founder and CEO of HireClicks. We are a recruitment marketing agency, and we're helping our customers every day figure out where to find candidates, how to advertise, how to build creative, and how to solve their toughest TA problems. Wishing you the best, be bold, choose HireClicks, and I hope you have a great day.